If there's one thing Gold Rush fans know heading into every new season, it's this: nothing stays the same for long in the Yukon. Machinery evolves, rivalries sharpen, gold prices swing, and the frozen wilderness always has a few surprises waiting beneath its icy surface. But Gold Rush Season 16, premiering with a thunderous episode 1 titled "Records Will Be Broken," promises to push the miners and the show itself into uncharted territory like never before. This year's kickoff episode doesn't waste a second reminding viewers why the gold fields are both irresistible and unforgiving. From the opening drone shots swooping across muddy cutbanks to the roar of massive wash plants firing up for the first time, Episode 1 throws us straight into the tension, ambition, and uncertainty that define the Gold Rush world. And this time, more than ever, everyone has something to prove. A new season, new stakes game. Episode 1 begins with a stark narration. Gold prices are hovering at an all-time high, and every miner is desperate to capitalize on the moment before the ground freezes again. The promise of record-breaking potential sets the tone. If the miners can dig deeper, run faster, and keep their machines alive, the rewards will be life-changing. If they can't, well, the Yukon doesn't accept excuses. The premiere highlights this pressure right away. Each mining crew is shown assessing their camps, checking equipment, and revealing their season goals. And for the first time in a while, all 3 major crews are openly aiming for record-breaking numbers: yardage, ounces, and whatever else they can push beyond the limits. This episode is deliberately crafted to make fans lean closer, eyebrows raised. They really think they can hit that? Parker Schnabel. Bigger ground, bigger gamble. Parker opens the episode with a classic Parker move, starting strong but with a massive, terrifying gamble. Fans will immediately recognize that focused, restless energy that defines him. At 29, he's no newcomer, but he's also no less hungry. In Records Will Be Broken, Parker has secured the largest permit of his mining career, granting him access to untouched ground with enormous potential. The catch: everything about the terrain is unpredictable. He's rolling the dice on geological speculation, heavy prep work, and the shortest season he's ever faced due to late-thaw conditions. The tension hits immediately when Parker gathers his crew and lays down a goal so bold even long-time fans might gasp. He wants to break his personal season record. The episode lets us sit with that challenge, watching his team exchange wary glances. With more machines than ever, a tighter timeline, and untested land, the risk is astronomical, but so is the reward. The premiere's standout Parker moment. A massive new wash plant installation scene that feels like a high-stakes ballet of steel and hydraulics. And when something goes wrong, you'll hear it before you see it. It's a gut-punch reminder why bold strategies come with big consequences. Tony Beets. The king is ready to roar. Tony Beets storms into Season 16 ready to remind everyone why he's called the King of the Klondike. Last season left him frustrated with regulatory hurdles and equipment issues, but Episode 1 shows Tony in classic form, confident, gruff, and gearing up for war against time. Tony's storyline in the premiere centers on reviving and optimizing the legendary Beets mining empire. With multiple generations of the family stepping deeper into leadership roles, Episode 1 highlights a fascinating dynamic shift. Tony is still the king, but his children are gaining more command, and more pressure than ever to deliver. This year, Tony sets out to break a different record. His highest gold output in a single season in over a decade. It's the kind of goal that only Beets would chase on day one. The big Beets moment of this episode. A monstrous dredge component arrival that leaves even the Beets family temporarily speechless. It's rusted, enormous, and full of potential, but whether it's a gold maker or a money pit remains to be seen. Tony's grin says he's betting on gold, and fans will love the energy he brings into this unraveling storyline. Ness. A return heavy with emotion. One of the most anticipated arcs this season is Ness's return after time away from mining. Episode 1 handles this with surprising emotional weight. Rick steps back onto the claim with humility, determination, and something to prove not only to fans but also to himself. The premiere frames his comeback through raw, honest moments, old equipment, limited funds, and the lingering question of whether he still has his mining instincts. Yet the heart of Rick's Episode 1 storyline is a small but powerful moment, when he runs his first test dirt in over a year and waits for the wash plant to reveal the results. You can almost feel his chest tighten as the gold mat is cleaned. Whether the results are good or disappointing, the emotion of that moment is undeniable, and a highlight of the premiere. Rick's season record dream. Simply to return to full strength and prove he can still run with the big dogs. But as Episode 1 hints, the path won't be easy. New tech, new trouble. One of the most exciting elements of Records will be broken, is the introduction of new mining technology across the camps. But in the Yukon, new doesn't mean smooth. Parker tests a high-capacity feeder system that promises faster throughput, but its first run shakes the entire plant like a dragon waking up angry. Tony experiments with an upgraded trommel that barely fits on its trailer, leading to a tense river crossing that viewers will replay twice just to see how they pulled it off. Rick, with far fewer resources, attempts to resurrect old machinery in a way that feels like a mechanic's version of open-heart surgery. By the end of the episode, one machine succeeds brilliantly, another nearly destroys itself, and the third, well, fans will be debating that outcome all week. A season poised for history. Episode 1 closes on a montage of roaring engines, swirling dust, and the unmistakable promise of an explosive season ahead. We're shown glimpses, just flashes, of the conflicts, breakdowns, and triumphs that await. A storm that threatens to flood an entire pit, a dangerous equipment failure that halts production, a record-breaking cleanup plan that leaves the crew speechless, and a rivalry turning personal as competition escalates. The premiere's final line lands like a promise and a threat. This season, records will be broken. But so will some of the miners. And with that, Gold Rush Season 16 stamps its claim. This is going to be a season unlike any other. If this sneak peek is any indication, fans are in for a wild, emotional, high-octane ride through one of the richest and riskiest gold seasons in Yukon history. Buckle up, grab your hard hat, and get ready to chase the motherlode. Gold fever has officially returned.